Welcome to Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement, part of the Treehouse Podcast Network. I'm your host, retired officer Steve Rutherford. Co-host for today, Joann Jackson.
Hey.
And we're joined by two guests in studio today. We've got Dallas Officer Joe King and
Hey.
Steve, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Absolutely. We were also joined with Officer Kris Garrett.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So thanks for being here, gentlemen. We got a lot for today's show, but I do want to start out by saying Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, what are you comfortable with?
Yeah, I hope everybody got everything they wanted for Christmas.
I sure hope so.
I have to buy it myself, but yeah. That's how I always get what I want.
Well, Joe, you didn't give us a list, so
Oh, I can do that later.
now
I don't want much.
I will say this: we got a gift showed up in the mail this week, and it is right here on the wall.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. It's got our logo on there, made by Clyde Hicks out of Harker Heights, PD. Clyde's a good friend. I love it. It's awesome.
It's so pretty. It looks really great, and the colors they match really well, and looks really nice.
Yeah.
It looks so much better in person than in photo.
Yeah, so let's do a shameless plug for Clyde real quick. If you need any woodwork done, then you can email Clyde at treemaster1@yahoo.com. Again, that's treemaster1@yahoo.com.
Is that the number one or the word one?
It's the number one.
Okay.
It's definitely not number
He's
two.
number one. We don't want any number twos.
Clyde does not want you to send him a number two.
Do not send him a number two.
Okay, so yes, and that being said, Merry Christmas to everybody. If you are a first responder, you're out there and you are working through the holidays, thank you. Stay safe out there, guys. We appreciate you being out there. We know it's tough working holidays. We've done it. I've done it many years, and again, thank you for keeping everybody safe, and stay safe yourselves. Matter of fact,
What?
staying on the topic of Christmas, just a couple of weeks ago, Karen and I were down at the Metroplex Cops Christmas party. Mm-hmm. And Metroplex Cops being concerns of police survivors.
A national organization?
I like that.
Yes, it is.
Step right in there. Help me out on this.
I know you need it.
I need all the help I can get.
That's what I'm here for.
Yes, COPS is a nationwide organization that helps survivors of our fallen officers out there, and they've got chapters located in every state. And Texas has multiple chapters. Well, the Metroplex chapter of COPS is, I don't know, if you drew a line across Texas going east and west from Waco, Metroplex is like everything to the north. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we had Christmas party. It was actually at the DPA, Dallas Police Association headquarters, just a couple weeks ago. And one of our friends, Emily Thompson Lloyd, was there, mm-hmm. and of course Emily is the widow of DART officer Brent Thompson, end of watch July 7th, 2016. Well, Emily brought her son Cameron with her.
He's a good kid.
Cameron is cool, and Cameron and I, they had different events for everybody there. Cameron and I decorated little Christmas tree cookies together, and then
I saw that.
You saw the photos?
I did.
Well, they also had a Christmas tree ornament decorating area. Ornament
I didn't
decorating
see that
area.
one.
Yeah, and I didn't go over there, but Cameron made a couple of them, and Emily gave me one of them and said, "Steve, this would look great in the studio." And Cameron wanted us to have this from the studio. So he gave us a Christmas gift. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see it here. It's got a tag on it that says, police that sacker-faced. Mm-hmm. So sacker-faced police. Mm-hmm. Now, we all know he meant sacrificed, but he's just funny. Emily was cracking up. He's 10.
9 or 10 years old.
He's 10 years old. So, Cameron, your mom said she was going to have you listen to the show, so shout out to you, buddy. Thank you for the ornament.
What's inside of it?
I don't know. Piece of paper he rolled up and put in there. It says something on it, but I don't want to open it up.
I don't want to open it either.
I'm gonna leave it.
I think we should
just
hang
like
it.
that.
We should hang it.
Yeah, absolutely. We will definitely hang that up in the studio. You know, Cameron was actually at my retirement party as well.
Yes, he was.
And at the after party, he was walking across the parking lot, found a $1 bill, and he wanted me to have that as a retirement
Such a
gift.
good kid. Emily and I went to lunch a few years back at North Park, and she's teaching him to be a gentleman, and he brought me a present. He brought me chocolate-covered strawberries.
Wow.
I know. He's such a good kid.
Well, when he gave me the $1 bill at my retirement party, I accepted it because he really wanted me to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Emily was over here for the show, I don't know, May, June, something like that.
She was on the third
she's
episode,
on episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I returned the $1 bill to her and actually gave her some more money and said, please give this back to Cameron. Tell him that I took the $1 bill he gave me, I invested it, and here's his return.
Nice.
And give it back to him.
I'm sure he enjoyed that.
Yeah. Cameron's a cool kid.
He's a cool kid.
All right. Now, Joe, you're not only an officer for Dallas, but you actually host the ATO Bridging the Divide podcast, correct?
Yeah, we've been going since 2021. First, Sissy Officer Foundation, it's been going since 1999, and we have been helping officers and firefighters and their families for, years. Started by Tom Popkin, David Rodriguez, and Carollo, Detective Carollo, rest in peace. And we started helping just police officers if they have an injury, illness, or a catastrophic event. And then in 2010, we opened up a confidential counseling program because mental health and first responder world is paramount, and we don't do a good enough job of taking care of ourselves and take care of our mind. We can go out and practice and shoot all day, but we do not make our mind bulletproof. And over time, I think the symptoms of that are high divorce rate, anger issues, anxiety, depression, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
So this counseling program has been going since 2010, and it was going okay. And 7/7 happened, and then it spiked. And since 7/7, over 300% usage. And now I'm in the Dallas PD's wellness unit, and it's still growing as far as people coming forward. So I started up the podcast because I wanted to. You can never have enough education, especially in the mental health realm. And everybody says, break the stigma and and all this and any other kind of buzz phrase you want to throw out there. But I think having true legends and people that actually walk the walk come on and tell their stories, and also have on people, doctors and therapists come on and educate the first responder community and people that are outside the first responder community to help understand the kind of stuff we go through and what we see and how it affects our brain. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so I think starting the show it's education. And it's also to change culture.
Mm-hmm. I have a question.
Yep.
Are your counselors that you have on the show and that work with the ATO, are they trained specifically in first responder? Because as a previous first responder, I've had some stuff and I've gone to someone and I think I traumatized them. I really think I have. Like some of the things I've seen and that have bothered me, and I've gone to talk to someone about, because, in the medical field, they don't offer that. And it's a very fine line, like law enforcement. They're trained to be able to, because they have to deal with that themselves, because now it's theirs too.
No, all the counselors and doctors and the therapists we have on are all trauma trained in EMDR, ART, or CPT. Yeah, we put them through a panel of. We don't just take any counselor that raises their hand and pick them and bring them to the ATO. They are all trauma experienced and trained in trauma, first responder, and military.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I've referred folks down to you guys before because you spread out. It's not just Dallas. You guys help out other agencies as well, officers from other agencies. I've sent someone down to you that was involved in a critical incident and is actually nice. We'd talked to a couple other officers, been in similar incidents, and that really helped him. That helped him out tremendously.
That's right. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
No, ATO expands past the Dallas Metroplex, and we try to help out as many people as we can. We hear the name of it is Sissy Officer Foundation, but we also help firefighters and their families. So a lot of firefighters, they don't even know that, and I have them on the show, and then they're like, "Oh, damn, we didn't know that ATO extended to the fire community." We try to help as many people as we can, but also we are a nonprofit, and like any nonprofit, you have to raise money. And I mean, y'all have come out and enjoyed our Bags for Badges or golf tournaments. That's how we raise the money to put in, in like these counselors' pockets to take care of our people.
Yep. So Bags for Badges, you bring that up, but
fantastic.
Yeah, we know several people that
fantastic.
Several people that have attended.
Right now. Yeah.
Well, and Joann, since you participated in this, tell us what Bags for Badges is.
Well, they go out, and I am assuming that they purchase these bags. There's usually like a Louis Vuitton as like the grand prize, and it's bingo. And officers and firefighters, they put on their best outfits or
lack of
and oil up, and they come out and they dance and they show the bags, and they go out into the crowd and they raise money by doing various things in the crowd, which we will not mention. It's just a really good time. It's really loud. It's a bunch of women just having a really great time. There are some men there, but it's just the best time. And if you have the opportunity when tickets come on sale, you've got to buy them immediately because they sell out in minutes. Yeah. It's worth it. Even if you don't win, they have a whole raffle section, this huge area with different companies and people and stuff that donates stuff for raffle. It's so much fun.
Now, how could someone go about finding out information on when the next event is going to be, or how could they purchase tickets?
Well, if you go to atodallas.org, we have our merchandise store. We're on there. We have our event schedule, and I know that the Purse Bingo tickets go on sale in April, but sponsorships available already. So if you want to sponsor a table, and it's I always describe it as Magic Mike with ladies playing bingo, and I'm talking 500 to 600 ladies, and there's a few guys sprinkled in. I don't know why they're there, but
there's some drinks.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of drinks.
There's some food, and it's all ages, and wheelchairs, walkers. People walk in. Anybody is welcome to come. It's accessible for everybody, and it's just a good time. I don't think I've ever seen any kids.
No, I don't. It's not
for kids.
That would be
I'm not letting my daughter go in there.
Yeah, it's not. I definitely don't bring your kids. I would not be comfortable with that.
Sounds like that's your Christmas present that you want.
A ticket to Bags for Badges.
And we can take care of that.
Joe already told me I have one.
Yeah.
There you go. That was easy. Merry Christmas, Joann.
I'm done. I'm ready. I'm happy. It makes me so happy to get invited to that. It means a lot to be invited.
Very neat event. Very neat event. Good fundraiser for you guys.
Goes to a good cause.
And what if there's a officer out there that wants to be one of your models? How should they go about signing up?
Well, they could email me at atobridging at gmail.com, and we'll hook you up because we need some. I mean, we're always needing models, and we're just not needing volunteers. You don't have to come out and necessarily take your shirt off and dance or do both. You just come out and help sell raffle tickets. We always need volunteers to help to the sausage factory, the behind the scenes. No pun intended.
That's not the only job. That's not the only job for men.
No. No pun intended. But to make a thing go like that, it takes a lot of behind the scenes work to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before people even get in the doors and the ladies sit down in the seats, there's a lot of behind the scenes that people are working really hard for months to make happen.
Yeah. I feel like we had more firefighters this year.
Oh, we had the most firefighters this year.
They were adorable.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were
adorable.
This is our 10th annual that's coming up in June 14th. It's at Gillies again. And I think that venue is perfect for the event. And it is truly made for what we're doing. And this was the best one last year. And I think this year we want to outdo it.
Yeah, it was really good. They have a mounted unit there, K9 officers, SWAT
came out.
Everybody, we need to get the SWAT guys to model.
I know.
Well, those guys, I mean, they're so
pose
pretty.
For pictures all the time anyway.
I mean, they're so pretty. I think that, and they work out and they're muscly. I really think we need to work on that.
Well, the Garland officer everybody loves, the tatted up Garland officer.
Oh, yes. He's been there since the beginning. Everybody knows who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he's been there.
Sexy Dan.
Couple
That's his moniker.
You got Joann so excited. She just hit her microphone.
Off her chair.
Well,
Jennifer's over there shaking her head yes when I brought him up.
Jennifer's like, don't know what you're talking about.
Getting some nods from the audience today. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Jennifer's husband, Kris, you going to sign up to take off your shirt? And
Oh, I'll do it. You know, traffic vest or
Come on,
something like
please.
that. Yeah.
bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Not all the men take off
No.
their shirts. Not all the men are six packs and biceps and pecs. You know, there's
Some may be full of a six pack when they get there.
yeah,
but they don't
exactly.
have a-
Might be full of six pack. You know,
You
there's
got a pregame.
there's dads there, and you know, it's not exclusive for the buff dude.
Not the SWAT. The SWAT guy. It's not. And you know, it's funny. You're right, though. We need to get more SWAT guys there because they spend a lot of time working out and posting Instagram photos. They need to come out and,
They're so pretty.
yeah, very pretty.
I don't know, man. I don't think I even know anyone anymore. I think they've all retired.
Pretty.
Or I'd hit them up, but I'd guilt them.
If you're listening, Joann's requesting pretty SWAT guys at the Bags for Badges. So, and any agency, right?
Any
yeah,
agency.
Yeah, because we help other agencies, so we like for other
Okay.
agencies to get involved.
Right.
Good deal. Kris, you're currently an officer, correct?
I am.
And where do you work?
I work at Rhome Police Department.
How long you been an officer?
19 years.
19 years.
19.
Weird. Very good. Any special assignments during your time in law enforcement?
Well, I have had a couple. I was the crime prevention officer, which you did for several years. So I've been a patrol corporal, patrol sergeant, been a negotiator for, actually just showed up on my timeline the other day. I think it was 2013 when I went to school. So just hit 11 years doing it.
Wow.
Been
I
a-
didn't know you did that.
Yep.
Been negotiating for a while.
Yeah. He is married, so I hope he negotiates well with you.
A lot of active listening.
There is a ton of active listening.
This isn't really fair to him
Right.
because we've got his wife in studio today.
Paraphrasing and yeah.
So whenever you and Jennifer are going to dinner, is there negotiating for where you're going to go? I mean, do you ever use the professional skill to,
Negotiate.
I plead the fifth on that.
okay. Just
Can't
see
give
if
away
you're
all the
using your
secrets.
professional training in your personal life. But
By the way, Jennifer's a friend of the show. She's been on the show. She's been in our audience.
yes, absolutely.
Her son's been on the show.
Yes, out of Wise County.
Yes, yep.
Referring back to a couple episodes back.
Mhm.
So, yeah, Wise County Deputy Jonathan Hale.
Mhm.
It's a good one to listen to.
He
He's
talked,
a nice kid. Good
he-
kid.
talked about the lady that wouldn't come out from underneath her house. So, y'all need to listen to that. Check that one out. And
Also involves number 2.
yeah, a lot of our stories involve number 2.
I don't know what's up with that, but there is a lot of number 2 on this show.
Now,
Human and dog.
human and dog. Yeah, we had
Did have
we
a
had
canine?
dog number 2
Well,
last.
you hope it's a dog when you step in it.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you've been an officer for quite some time, and during that time, you see a lot of pranks, pull a lot of pranks on fellow officers.
Oh, yeah. I've been with DPD a couple of weeks will be 28 years, and I spent almost 20 at the Southeast Division. And anybody knows that's the area around Fair Park. And when I see people come in and to go to the fair out of state and they park a block away and then they come back in their car sitting on rims, you know, that guy with no teeth waving you in to parking a lot for $5, he don't own that lot
In his front yard.
in his front yard. Yeah, so I started in 97 and I like to pull pranks just to amuse myself. I really don't do it just for others' benefits. It's just really for me because I'm selfish. So I would
Is he selfish and he knows it?
yeah, I would pull pranks on people in the academy, like just stupid little things, like right on the board, the chalkboard or the dry erase board, bring your reflective vest to class, and I would just sit back after lunch. So people would just come milling in from we're all rookies, we're gonna do whatever the magical board says, and just sit and watch that. I would. One of our guys, I put a
That's wrong, man.
well, I got his shout out to Ray Salinas. His locker's across from me, and I made the mistake of leaving my locker unlocked, and he dumped a trash can in it. Well, he made that mistake, so I got his locker combination 6/22/18. I still remember from '97. So all throughout the rest of the academy, which our academy is lengthy. It's 9 months long.
It's long.
It's a long one. Yeah. So I would go in and I would take his gray T-shirts that he had on, has our little last name on them, and I would take them home and I would dip the collar in tuna juice, like from the tuna can, and then hang them back in, or I would like.
That's me.
Yeah, I've grown since then. So I would go and take these little shorts, and I would take it with a razor blade. I'd take enough stitching out of the seat of the pants to hold them together as long as I can. And the last day, the week we graduated, another officer went to the fish market, and got like a full. I have a video of this too. I can send y'all.
Nice.
It's a video from '97, and it's a full fish. I put in his locker and kind of videoed, and we're kind of like doing an interview, like, hey, how you feel about going on the streets? And we knew he was going to his locker, and we up to his locker, and he opens it, and he's just stunned that he's looking at this nasty full fish in there. And the hook inside the locker is hooked in the mouth. So, yeah.
Oh, you got to love a good prank.
And then I got out to the streets and kicked it off.
This is Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. Check us out online at offbeatcopshow.com.
Planning for the future is challenging, and getting where you want to go in life requires strategies built around your unique financial needs. Alexander Financial Management is here to help you reach your goals. As fiduciaries, Alexander Financial Management will pursue the best solutions for you, no exception. While their decades of experience and service are available to everyone, Alexander Financial especially wants to help first responders and their families. The founder is a former police officer, and the executive team includes a retired fire captain and a retired police officer. Their extensive background in public service gives a deep understanding of the public retirement systems of Texas. So for retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, and estate planning, Alexander Financial Management has your back, so you can look forward. Get more info at alexfm.com. That's alexfm.com. Investment advisory services offered through Transcend LLC, a registered investment advisor. TE3 and Alexander Financial are not affiliated entities. Insurance products and services are not offered through TE3, but are offered and sold through individually licensed and appointed agents.
And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. I'm your host, retired officer Steve Rutherford. Co-host for today's show, Joann Jackson.
Hey.
And we're joined with two guests in studio today. We've got Officer Joe King.
Hello.
And we've got Officer Kris Garrett.
Hello.
Now, this segment is sponsored by our good friends at Alexander Financial Management. If you have questions about retirement planning, investment strategies, life insurance, or estate planning, check out Alexander Financial Management at alexfm.com. Oh, Kris, let's get over to you. Have you ever had a situation in which there was a missing prisoner?
I have. So I've never been much of a prankster, but I've been involved in a few, kind of drug into them. So
Drug into him?
Drug into him.
Innocent bystander.
Yeah, I was totally innocent. So had one night we were at one of the hotels, and you're always at the hotels arresting someone. So this prisoner, this other officer, he arrested him, put him in the back of his car. A couple minutes later, my corporal says, "Hey, get him out and put him in your car." I was completely oblivious. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay.
Got the prisoner out, put him in my car, wasn't thinking anything about it. And the officer comes out, finishes doing what he was doing, his paperwork, hops in his car and drives off. And I'm like, I'm looking at the corporal. I'm like, hey, and the corporal's laughing.
No, you're thinking, oh, great. Now I got to take this guy to jail. Am I going to have to do the paperwork?
Right. So, but it took me about a couple seconds to figure out what was going on. And so we just kind of, leaned up on the hood of the Crown Vic and waited. Man, it was taking a while. We're like, man, he's got to have made it to the jail by now.
That's going to suck.
Well, then the corporal's phone starts ringing.
Yeah.
And he's like, the prisoner is not in my car. Like, I don't know where he's at.
So that's a you problem.
Right. It was
We
hilarious.
better get looking.
And so he let him go for a minute or so, and then told him, hey, why don't you come over here and pick your prisoner up? So he said he got about halfway to the jail and said something to the prisoner and didn't get an answer. So he stops, looks back there, and there's no one there. He said he hopped out of the car, had all his doors open and running around like, how could he have gotten out? And then contemplated what he was going to say. before calling the corporal.
They're making up a story.
Yeah. He's got to get it straight in his head. And so he came back and picked his prisoner back up.
That's just wrong. Can
Probably
you
wanted to
imagine?
throw up.
Can you imagine being that officer? I mean, right? Oh my God! Right? Whenever you realize the prisoner's no longer in the back, you're like, okay, how am I going to say this? You're not using the radio.
Oh, God, no.
You can make a phone
Absolutely
call.
not.
Calling your association rep to already get the lawyer lined up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's not a bad idea. Go ahead and have your attorney ready and ready to go.
Here's my written statement.
Oh, all right, Joe.
That's funny.
At the end of the first segment, you were talking about pranks that you've done over your career, and again, 28 years at Dallas, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you've 28 years worth of pranks, I guess.
No, I've kind of slowed up. I've grown up a little bit. I don't know. I guess I got bored with it. I still play them occasionally, but nothing like I used to. It was more just for entertainment and self-entertainment. And usually I would play them on people that I liked. And if I don't like you, I'm not gonna. I don't want anything to do with you. And
That's right.
but I only tease and mess with people I like. My old partners, I'd kind of terrorize.
That seems to be a common theme. Every time we hear about a prank, everyone's saying, well, the only reason we're pranking you, if we weren't pulling a prank on you, that means we don't like you.
It's out of love.
Exactly.
It's all out
Because
of
we're not
love.
going to talk to you if we don't like you.
Right.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the pranks I would do would just, like I would, in our detail in Southeast, I would just bring in an old oil penny that I found and just hang it up just behind where the sergeants would sit. And, people would come in and kind of have a befuddled look and just, I guess some chief or lieutenant just hung that up or somebody did. And it would sit there for years. One time I brought an old couch in that we found. I got some help from some of the guys that I found out in South Dallas, and we brought it into the break room. And that thing sat in there for a long time, and then the stuffing started coming out the side when people would sit down. But I saw officers sitting back there in between extra jobs or on their lunch break laying on it, and
Oh my
just
God.
like, damn, hepatitis shot after that.
That or maybe some critters or
Yeah, you don't
drugs
Don't
or
want to put a black light over that.
Ugh, burn it.
So that's a first, Joe, picking up couches on the side of the road. And
Hey,
Some
using
of the
them to-
stations look like their furniture
my way
came
of-
from the road.
it was my way of giving back.
hey, I furnished this place,
Yeah.
It's,
Y'all should be happy.
Yeah, and-
Put nice paintings up.
If you've seen our PD, that would fit right in. You
That's
wouldn't
what
think
I'm
twice
saying.
about it. Yeah.
Someone in the neighborhood got new furniture, and hey, would you like? That's what we used to do with the fire department and the ambulance corps. They were going to donate their furniture. Hey, do you guys need a new couch? Heck yeah, we do.
Why does it smell like cigarette? Swisher.
Or weed.
Yeah, or weed.
now, Kris, you mentioned something about number 2, and
I think we've all got number 2 stories.
Absolutely.
But the one that always comes into mind is found a guy back behind one of the businesses one night. Homeless guy. So I run him, and he's got warrants, of course. So I hook him up, and I take him to jail. And, man, this guy stinks bad.
Ugh.
Bad.
Like
So-
that couch.
Probably worse. Probably not too far off, but probably worse. And so I get him back and, bring him into the jail. And, that's where we start, taking all their property from him and everything. And, of course, like most of them do, they got 2 pairs of pants on and 6 pairs of underwear. And so, we're going through all that. And he's like, hey, I've got one that I was saving in my drawers. And I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about.
Yeah, what are you saving,
What are
dude?
you saving?
He was saving it. So basically what it was is
For later. Saving it for later.
he took a number 2 and was just leaving it, just left it in his pants, and he was saving it. He was going to go get rid of it later, but he was just saving it until I guess it got hard enough or whatever. He'd just get it out. And
So it's okay to leave poop in your pants, but not to put it out in the bushes.
You
Yeah,
get a
he-
rash doing that.
I would think so. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you could get.
Some
Probably.
diaper rash.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, how do you know, Joe?
So then the
No comment.
jailers walked him back and took him to the bathroom and let him empty his drawers out. And
He had only been saving one.
I like you said drawers plural because he had multiple.
He had
drawers
multiple.
on.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's pretty common. They'll have 3 pair of underwear on and
Couple pair of pants,
2,
shirts.
3 pairs of pants and 4 or 5 shirts and.
Yeah.
Saving a number 2.
He's too busy. I get it. He's too
busy.
It's like that. It's like
Okay.
that astronaut, that former astronaut that was wearing that diaper heading out to. Do you hear that story?
Yeah, she's driving.
She's driving across the
coast.
country to confront an ex, and she's wearing a diaper, and she had no time to stop, so she was just
Wearing
peeing
Depends.
and doing number 1s and 2s in her diaper as she's driving.
Yeah,
Sometimes those are helpful or would be helpful on the side of the road. You're working
Especially for a
an
trucker.
accident or something.
Yeah.
Just
we joked about wearing them to the Candlelight Vigil in D.C. one year
Oh wow.
because it's so cold and it's so long and there's nowhere to go and you're in the middle of D.C. on the national lawn, and it's just like we were all joking about it. Nobody did it, but we thought it would be.
well, in DC, you'd fit right in. So
Well, true.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, I've really got. I've got nothing on that. I've got a lot of questions in regards to this individual stockpiling number 2 or hanging on to number 2.
the way he said it, it was a common occurrence.
So it was like his regular routine.
Yes.
Oh, I guess whatever floats your boat.
Well, maybe his.
And it's not like Dumb and Dumber where it keeps you warm for 2 seconds.
I
I don't know that reference, I guess.
Well, they're in Colorado and they're on the moped and which one? Jim Carrey's character pees
Yeah.
because he
they're
had to
riding on
go.
a
He had to
tiny
go and it
bike.
kept him warm. And he's like, "Oh, I feel so warm."
Now, in thinking about that and referencing that, we've got an episode where we had a couple of officers on here that they're married now. One of them's still an officer, the other one's not. But yeah, they were directing traffic in the middle of the night, and one of them had to go to the bathroom so bad that went ahead and went to the restroom there,
Just standing there?
standing there.
Number 1 or 2?
Number 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, not as impressive. But,
Yeah, I wouldn't shake that down the pant leg. Yeah,
but
Well,
yeah,
you just keep it.
yeah,
Just hold
keep
on
it
to
like
it.
the other person. You can get a rash. I don't want to do that.
oh,
Rashes.
uh,
As long as it's not a scabies rash.
let's go ahead and set some rules here real quick. With everybody in the studio, nobody is allowed to store a number 2. Why?
Yes.
Can I
No
take a
number-
break? Can I take a break real quick? I need to go offload. Yeah.
It changed your plans, didn't it?
Yeah. Fill these rolls up halfway through.
Now, Joe, have you ever responded to a burglary in progress?
Oh yeah, I've responded to several at Southeast because a lot of people like to steal crap out there. But there was one entertaining one, and like Garrett, he was talking about the behind the store. Everything, nothing good happens behind the store. So it was a hot summer night in South Dallas, and my partner and I, Valdez, we get a call at 4111, and the comments read, 2 men breaking into the back of the store, a liquor store that had shut down there. And okay, it sounds legit. So we're going out there, and we stop in the front, and we kind of run around back. And they were not breaking in. There were 2 homeless guys. They were laying on their sides, and they both had their pants down around their ankles. And yeah, they were. I think it's called 69. They were 69, and we were stunned. We didn't know what to do. And
You cleared
and-
that call
yeah,
unable to locate.
Well, and well, we
walk
had no
away.
offense other than just disgust.
Lewd.
But yeah, and they were not hot, by the way. These were not hot men.
I'd be more concerned if you said they were.
Yeah,
These are not bags for badges,
They are
men.
not bags for badges.
Quality.
Yeah, quality. So they had. I mean, I'm trying to paint a picture for the listener, and also not to get too graphic. I don't want you to beat me out. But
Well, and
they
I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Joe. Were they on a couch?
no, they were on the ground. There was no couches. They were just laying on the ground on their sides.
I was thinking
And-
maybe this is where you got your couch for your station at.
They might have said on that at one point, but no, that's what I guess 2 people probably saw them walking behind the liquor store at dark hours and just assumed they were going to go break into it. And but no, they needed a private spot for, their love. So anyway, yeah, we didn't know what the reaction was. Kind of like, get up.
No, I think I'd have been like, oh, hell no. I just would have turned around and walked back, got in my car.
Nothing
Yeah,
to
I don't
see
think I
here.
would have said
It's
anything.
unfounded.
We,
Nothing to see here.
yeah, it was thinking about it now. It's very vivid, and we talk about the effects of cumulative trauma over the police career, and
there's a lot right there.
Yeah, there's a lot that still haunts me.
That's probably worse than some of the homicides.
Man, it was different. I seeing dead people out there in Southeast is pretty common, but that was. I spent a long time out there, and that's the only time I've seen that. Thank God.
Building is secure.
Yeah.
We got you guys watching it.
Yeah. 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 There was.
We hear some of the greatest stories out of Dallas. We really
Dallas has
do.
some good, especially Southeast.
A lot of variety.
A lot of yeah.
We had old Andy on here. I'd refer back to Andy again. We referenced him in the last
Caceres?
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to his episode?
Yes, I did. And I heard y'all talk about him. And the last one I listened to was the Jacks Off.
Yes.
Yeah, that episode.
But yeah, I think Andy talking about working in downtown and stuff. And we also had Mark Lemons on the show remotely out of Corpus Christi for that one. And didn't Andy say that, or maybe it was Mark that pointed out that pants were optional in Dallas or something like that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, they've had a number of people walking around pantless.
Especially of Harry
It's
Hines.
usually women, but
Yeah.
but there have been some men.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just streaking and doing their business, what makes them happy.
At least they're working.
Yeah.
They are working out there. Harry Hines.
God. So I got to ask, every time you would answer another call after that for burglary in progress, was that always running through your mind?
Yeah, obviously almost 25 years later, it's still running through my mind, sadly. But no, going straight to another call, you're laughing the whole night. Valdez and I we had a lot of laughs for a long time.
You expect to find skunks and things like that.
Yeah.
Walking, but
Not that.
No.
We were geared up. We were fast, jogging to the back, guns out, expecting the two guys breaking in the back. But
They were.
they
were
were doing.
kinda
They were
breaking
different
in
kind
the back.
Yeah,
They were about
yeah.
to.
Well, they haven't got to that, but they were working it.
They should have spotlighted him with the flashlight.
I just
What's
remember
going on over here?
the old dirty pants around the ankle. Yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah, if I would have been there with my cover officer and walked up on that, I just shot the U, walked back to the car, and already told him this never happened to.
After you take a couple of pictures, because nobody's going to believe
back
you.
then we had no camera phones, so
That's
it wasn't.
right.
We couldn't get a quick. It was back then we take photos to be the old Kodak, the wind up, but we didn't have that.
Disposable camera.
We didn't want any pictures. We just wanted to leave and run them off and get the hell out of there.
It's funny.
That would have run me off.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Kris, you'd mentioned something earlier about sending emails out.
so I, of course, have not participated in this.
Oh, of course.
Never.
not.
Never.
Of course not.
I've seen it happen a few times. You get you can't leave your computer unlocked.
No.
Of course, this was quite a few years ago before, some laws were changed and things like that. But you leave your computer up and you go to the bathroom or go grab you a Coke out of the break room or something like that. And you come back and, who knows, you're sending emails for the next couple of years and have no idea what your signature says. Sometimes, it might say, I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world at the bottom of your email.
So you mean like where you put your rank and your name and your badge number or the thing underneath it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know you could change that.
Yeah, you can edit it. Yeah. You're the one that puts it there. And if you leave your computer open, then someone else can go in there and change it for you.
That's funny.
We had that in Dallas where people would take unfortunate photos of below their belt and then put it on somebody's screensaver,
Oh,
But they kinda,
that's what you get for leaving your phone unlocked.
Yeah. I have had my screensaver changed a few times.
Me too, but nothing
like that. No.
Nothing like that at all.
Oh, you got to love it. See, and that's, if you're not having fun, it's just work. Nobody likes to just work. So you might as well have fun while you're there. We've said that on the show many, many times.
You have to have fun where you work or it'll kill you.
Well, if you're not laughing, if you're crying, so you gotta.
Better off laughing. You got to make it fun.
Joe, any other pranks?
Oh man, well, if you had some old partners on here, they would probably, I would just one guy. I'm not going to mention his name. I had a photograph from him in the academy, which he's like probably 20 pounds lighter in that photo, and had a goofy grin. And I put up, and I did it on his Friday, so he was off 3 days. So I knew he was going to hang up in the break room. So I had a picture of him, and then I had like when people have something for sale. And then they have like a little, the bottom of the page is kind of frayed with a phone number. I put single male officer looking for female companion, preferred non-smoker. And then I had all these ridiculous requirements, and I hung that up, and he didn't take jokes well, and I never copped to it, but he didn't, he kind of figured it was me.
Anybody ever take one of the tear-offs at the bottom of it?
You know what's funny, though? When I got back to work, I saw the thumbtacks were still up there, but the corners of the page was ripped off because you could tell he snatched it off the wall. It was funny.
That's funny.
Poor guy.
Well, also, he would put his cowboy boots on top of the locker, and one time I put little styrofoam cups of water into the boots, so when he got his boots down to go home, it poured all over him.
That's just not right. Let's welcome Daniel Cook now from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the studio. 833 Cook DFW is the phone number. The website is cookdfw.com. How are you, Daniel?
Doing fantastic, Steve. Thank you very much, sir.
Good deal. Now, Daniel, Cook DFW is fully insured, correct?
Steve, that's a sore subject, sir. I'm just going to tell you right now, every year I see that premium increase. And to answer your question, absolutely yes. We want to make sure our clients are taken care of and protected. We want to make sure that if we're on your property, whether it be your home or business or large buildings, that, whoever's responsible for that is taken care of. So there are certainly a ton of different levels of insurance, though. So if you're having someone come out and do, repairs on your property, please, get to know them, make sure you want to work with them, make sure the price is fair, but then also make sure and ask them, what kind of insurance do you carry? Do you carry general liability? Do you carry workers' comp? Do you have an umbrella policy? These are things that the homeowner needs to know, and they need to be kind of cautious about, because if you have somebody on your property, and let's just say by accident, you hire a handyman, even, handyman should even have insurance. Let's say they're putting in a new ceiling fan. Let's say they cross the wires or something like that, and that fan catches on fire later that day and does some pretty substantial damage to your home before you can put it out. Well, if that handyman doesn't have any coverage, you're going to be suing that handyman personally. And I don't know about you, but I don't know how much money they're going to have to come back and rebuild your home that might need $100,000 worth of repairs done to it. So it is really important for you, the homeowner, to protect your property and ask them about everything that entails with their protection.
Yeah, it's extremely important to know that any contractor working on your property is properly insured by all means. Call the pros at Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration for any of those roofing, remodeling, or restoration needs. The number is 833-COOK-DFW. The website is cookdfw.com. Be sure to ask about their free first responder upgrade. And we're back to more Offbeat, the light side of law enforcement. We've got two guests joining us today. We've got Officer Joe King and Officer Kris Garrett. Now, if you have not checked out the website, check it out, offbeatcopshow.com. Again, that's offbeatcopshow.com. You can listen to all episodes there on the website, as well as subscribe to the email list. Also, check us out on
YouTube, Instagram,
That
Facebook.
was the last one. YouTube is the last one I had listed, but okay.
Oh, did you? Because you usually forget YouTube.
Yeah, knock it out, man. You're doing great.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Offbeat Cop Show.
Okay. And on YouTube, if you would just do us a favor and hit that little subscribe button there.
Subscribe, like, share, listen. We have a good time.
So, yes, if you're an officer and you've got a funny story that you would like to share with our listeners, then send us an email. It's offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. Again, offbeatcopshow@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on the show.
They do have house rules of no BMs, though. You're saving.
Yeah, no pooping in your pants.
Yeah, no number 2s for later.
We'll stick
So
the dog
strict
on
here.
you.
Yeah.
I know, right? The rules.
Now, guys, I do want to also mention the RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. Of course, that's something that old Russ Martin from the Treehouse Show started quite some time ago. Foundation is still around. Again, that's RMS Treehouse Listeners Foundation. The point of the foundation is to donate funds to the families of fallen officers and firefighters here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, covering 10 counties. So if you'd like to donate, visit treehouseonair.com. Again, that's treehouseonair.com. You'll find the link to donate to the Listeners Foundation there at the top. Now, Kris, you mentioned something about some people running from officers?
Yes. Well, they kind of ran from a scene. They didn't necessarily initially run from us. We were
Okay.
talking about pepper spray, and I've told this story quite a few times. I'm not going to mention any names, but there was this one instance where these guys, they ran from a fatality accident.
Ugh.
It was a bad one, real bad one. And so there's a large field close by and tall grass, of course. So we surround the field, have no idea where these guys went. We're pretty sure over there. So DPD Air 1 comes out and saves the day and finds these guys in about 2 seconds. So myself,
Love the helicopter.
man, that thing, yeah.
Love the birds.
I mean, I honestly think we've probably been looking for 45 minutes or so at least before that. And they came over there and like one swoop, they said, hey, they're here. There's one here and there's one here. And they were hiding out by a couple hay bales. So this other officer I worked with, he took the one on the right, I took the one on the left, and coming up, and my guy complies. He puts his hands out, and the other officer, the guy's not complying. He's not putting his hands out, not doing anything. So that officer starts pepper spraying him.
I hate that stuff.
I hated it.
Spicy.
So then I go down, I arrest my guy, put the cuffs on him, and I'm going to pick him up, and I'm looking over there, and that officer's still just spraying.
Guy still
Not doing anything. He's just spraying him. I mean, this is a tall pepper spray can.
Like a fogger. Yeah, like a
And,
roach fogger.
and I swear, there is no way that can did not get emptied. And finally, I guess the guy, put his hands out, and they went out there and cuffed him up, and
finally became compliant.
he did. Oh, a can of pepper spray will do that to you,
Couldn't breathe.
right?
Oh, you hit me with one spray of that. Whatever you need. Whatever you need.
He's gonna
When
have-
I play back the memory in my head, I just remember looking over and just seeing someone just sitting there just spraying and spraying and spraying, and it's just kind of okay,
He's counting 1001, 1002, 1000.
all the way to 1030.
It's the ultimate tunnel vision of, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's going to have a rash after that.
And
have
then he
a lot
tried
of
to put him in my car. Tried to put him in my car after that. I was like, no, he can go in your car.
Yeah, no, I don't want
Because
anything.
that travels. It doesn't just stay on them, it travels.
It gets on everybody and everything.
Everything.
I was at a scene once with Dallas, and they pepper sprayed this girl who fully had it coming, but it was in the air, and all of a sudden I'm like, and I'm like, oh no.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. It gets everybody around you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, that's what we got for today's show.
Thanks,
Keep it.
thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for
You're
having
welcome.
man. It was really enjoyable, and I listened to your show, and I appreciate what y'all do.
Hey, well, we appreciate that, Joe. And of course, you again are the host of ATO Bridging Divide. You're out there on all streaming platforms, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, check out the show. Guys, keep it real, keep it funny. Until next time, be safe and watch each other 6.